Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Menu. This is where we share ideas, we get to know industry professionals, who they are, what they believe in, how they got to where they are, and of course, the lessons learned along the way. Today, I'm sitting with someone very interesting, someone who is a certified medical lab technician, a swimmer and gymnast during her school days, and calls herself an accidental marketer. She started her work life with Kingfisher and moved into the F&B industry with Nando's and then Jollibee, and is now the head of marketing for Citymax Hotels and Foodmark. Meet Ketaki Shah, the ever exuberant, lovely, fun-loving lady. Welcome to the show, Ketaki.
Thank you so much, Vinina. That summarized Ketaki so well. That was excellent.
I'm glad it did.
Like from childhood to what I've done now, like what I'm doing recently. So that's amazing.
Lovely. So let's start with one very intense question about what does success mean to you? It means different to different people, right? So what does it mean to you? Do you feel that people have that special something, the ones who succeed, or is there a proper, a way to go about getting it, climbing the corporate ladder? What has your experience been?
So success, like you said, it means different to everyone. For me, I think I've earned it. Right?
Lovely.
And probably late. I'll tell you why I say that. Again, I'll just give you a little background why I say that. So when I was growing up, like you said, I've done sports. I am a certified lab technician. I can have my own lab. But when I was studying and I was like getting to know what do I want to do, I did not have the answer what I want to do.
Who does? But
I thought, like, I know people. I want to become a doctor. I want to become an engineer. I come from that era, right? Where parents were like, my son or daughter has to be a doctor or an engineer or whatever. My parents, so again, I have a mix at my back home is my dad is a government employee, been in that job for all his life, retired. My mom and my brother come from the media industry, the very glamorous, my sister-in-law as well. So I'm nowhere, like I'm just an absolute mix, like in an absolute corporate world. Where am I? So again, when I reflect back, I didn't know what I wanted to do. In fact, that's an inside joke. My brother will be very happy to know that. He's like, dude, what do you want to do? You've done everything. When I was studying, then I did sports. Wanted to become a doctor, but didn't want to study. So I was not like an academically bright child, and my parents were always concerned. I remember mom didn't even come to the school to get my report card for the 10th standard. But today I feel it's all a learning.
yes, of course.
Because if I didn't go through that phase to where I am today, I wouldn't value the success or what I am today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I've been in a sports hostel, like it was a government initiative. I was handpicked. Then my dream was like, okay, maybe I'll play for India. I'll do gymnastics. I'll play badminton for India. I'll do international and all of that. 10th grade, and after all of this, it just came to a halt. Okay, and my mom's like, you still don't know what you want to do? I'm like, I don't. I've even flown a aircraft.
Wow.
Like it was a small, like a certified course. After 10th, you have so much time on hands. I've even done that. And on the other side, my brother, he's like, I know what I want to do. I want to do BMM. I want to come into this industry. I don't want to become an actor. I want to become a director. He's like so perfect. And I was like so intimidated. Like a younger brother knows everything and I don't. So again, that's where I call myself an accidental marketer. So all this has really taught me how to value what I have today.
Wonderful.
So I think I thrive on all of that.
Wonderful. And from what we were talking earlier, I remember you telling me that the younger Ketaki dreamt of getting married, having children. Clearly, that's not happened as yet. So I'm guessing the dreams have changed. So what is your dream today?
So, like I said, I never knew I will become a working professional. It all changed when I joined Kingfisher Airlines. The first thing when I say I joined Kingfisher, or I worked with Kingfisher, like, oh, were you flying? And like, no, I wasn't. No, you're tall. Yeah, but there are other jobs, right? So I was a part of the loyalty program.
Okay.
Very typical office, corporate. And that's where I saw what corporate life is.
Right.
I had an excellent boss, a mentor, and a lady, which is not really a great combination from what I hear. I looked up to her.
Not really an usual combination, you would say?
Usually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you have a lady boss and she's good. Oh, wow. How is that possible?
That's so horrible to say that. But anyways.
But that's what I hear. And I'm like, I don't agree to that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I saw, and that's where I realized maybe, this is what I would want to be one day. Right? So that's where the journey started. And again, just to go back to your question, I didn't really know where am I heading. That happened. Then I moved for some reason, of course, the airline chose to file bankruptcy and the history. Yeah. And then Nando's happened. And I'm like, okay, yes, dreams have changed. But even today, having said that, do I still want to become a housewife? Yes, maybe. Do I still want to sit at home, have kids? Yes, maybe. But can I stop working? No.
And it's possible. Everything is possible together.
Yeah, but I still tell myself, just take a break. Like I've been working for 20 odd years now. And touch wood, without a break.
Wow, that's insane.
So I don't know. I think, yes, dreams have changed. I'll say yes to that. But will they change again? I don't know, maybe.
No, that's okay. But what do you dream of today? Like, what would you want to do? Like, if you were not working, say, or with your work or whatever, what is your personal thing? Something that you really would like to do, maybe which you're not able to do just now? Anything like that?
If I am working, I just want something happening back to back.
So typical you.
Like, I do remember we had 2 back-to-back restaurant openings, and that evening, not even the next day, I'm like, what am I going to do next? Is there a renovation? Is there something? Because restaurant openings, renovations, like there is so much to do outside your day-to-day stuff.
Right.
Outside your regular whole year of marketing. But today I'm glad there are 2 portfolios that I handle, which is Citymax and Foodmark. They're different brands, they're different concepts. So I'm loving it. Like, seriously, it's so much fun. When I'm sitting at my desk, I have someone who's asking me a question on Carluccio's, and then there is someone who's asking me Citymax, and then Zafran. And I'm like, okay, this is
very
fun.
Happy with that.
I'm really
inundation of.
I'm very happy that I think that keeps me going. But if that is not an option, what else do I want to do? I want to travel. My holidays are on a break.
Oh,
I so want to go back to my holidays.
Okay, so you've got to take time out to do that, and you've got to put it in your calendar. That's the only way it happens, believe me.
I really want to. My family is happy. I just took a holiday with my brother and sister-in-law, and they're like, not on the phone. No one's calling
That's surprising.
you. I said, that's because there are Eid break. It's the Eid break and there are holidays. They're like, thought as much. Yeah. So that's me.
That's how you are. And I also know this about you, that you're highly competitive. Very. And I totally connect with that because, yeah, I get that. But tell me this, that have you felt that being highly competitive in a work environment has ever had its downsides, and how have you managed that? Do you feel that being competitive can be motivating, or would it be challenging?
In my case, initially was challenging because I couldn't figure it out. What is it that I'm doing? Exactly. What's happening with me? Am I competitive, or am I being a crybaby. Right. I questioned myself, and that's when I got the answer. I said, no, I work very hard. So what's wrong in being competitive? I'll give you a small example. I mean, I think it'll be like my favorite example ever. Back in Nando's, there every quarter, there was within all 13 markets, there used to be like a competition in every department. Not a competition, there would be a rating. And I excelled, or UAE, when I say I, so the UAE market which I was representing, excelled every quarter. And at the end of the year, I was like, I wasn't overconfident, but I was excited to look forward to that win. And then someone just got a bonus 1 or 2 points.
Oh, no.
And I remember I cried. Imagine someone who's running a department for a brand and in a country, you're in a good position, who's sitting at home and crying, because my only thought was, I really worked hard for that. And I know that is something I deserve.
Yeah.
So yes, I am highly competitive, and that's because I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah. No, I totally resonate, because I'm one who's called out by friends for being competitive in a game of Scrabble. So
am I. Oh my God, the whole lockdown, me and my best friend and her husband now, we've played Scrabble and we've walked out on each other. Because someone supported someone. Exactly.
We should play once.
And not be competitive. That's going to be difficult.
That'll be a test for sure. Great. You also mentioned that you care about people, right? That's one thing that you're very, and I've seen you with your team, how you are. So how do you kind of create that collaborative and supportive environment for your team? What is it that you do that you feel you do differently?
So I think I've learned it from my bosses / mentors. I remember my boss back, like who I mentioned, was the VP, and we were in the middle of a massive Kingfisher party where the chairman and everyone's there. But I still remember it was my first ever event, and it was kind of intimidating. So, but she was in the corner of that whole room and would do, "Are you okay?" So I'm like, wow, like she doesn't have to do that. And I think that's where I learned, like, once you value the people you work with, work becomes easier.
Yeah.
It's not work anymore.
Yeah.
So, and I am very possessive about my team and my people. I'm extremely, I think that's the motherly instinct that just comes out every time.
Yeah.
I feel that there should be someone that your team can rely on.
Yes.
That they should believe that someone has their back.
Exactly.
For good or bad. And for me, I think I want to know as much as they know. Don't hide things, because then I can't defend. I will still defend. I will still try my best, because I represent my team or the people I work with. So yeah, that's my way of caring.
I think yeah, exactly. I think the element of empathy plays a big role, and people who I've seen people who have that sense of empathy towards the team, towards others, are actually good leaders or managers. Like, I mean, because people look up to you. Like, I have people from my team from 10, 15 years back telling me that, you know what, you've taught me so much, and they have no reason to come back and say that, and they feel connected enough to stay connected even now, you know, and that I think is a true sign of a good manager, I would feel, because life is more than just that work 100. And that.
I completely agree, and I can relate to this. Like, I do remember one of my team members in the call center, she had come from Pakistan, a very sweet girl. She's like, ma'am, I don't know what to do. I just need a job. And I'm like, you can do so much. She started working in a call center. Today she's flying for Emirates. Like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And she would still out of nowhere message saying, if you didn't let me go, I wouldn't be where I am. You know,
That's
for me, what was it? Like, you want to, like, I put myself there saying, if I didn't take that jump, that leap, or someone didn't let me do that, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just, even if you're getting 1,000 dirhams more as a salary, or even 100 for that matter, but it's your decision, right?
Yeah.
You've made your decision and you think you're going to be happy. You have your own reasons. You don't have to tell me, but as far as you know it, I'll support you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I think a lot of times that's all that people need, you know. But then, I mean, you talked about people moving jobs, right? So your thoughts on job loyalty in today's times? It's a tough one. Like, what do you feel about it?
It's not really tough. And again, for me, there's always black and white. There's no gray. Job loyalty, there's no one's loyal to their job. They're loyal to what they do. Also, no one's loyal to their bosses or the companies. They're just loyal to themselves. Right?
And what they get out of it, probably.
Exactly. What they get out of it. So, I'm not promising someone I'm going to stay in this particular job for my life. Right?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Like my previous job, I was loving what I was doing. And I kind of realized that there was much more I could have done. But what came my way was way more exciting. So I had to make that switch.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that I wasn't loyal to what I was doing.
No, absolutely. I think when you're putting your heart and soul into what you're doing at that point of time, that's all that matters. You cannot promise to be at it forever.
Absolutely.
So, no, fair enough.
But I would like to say that, was I loyal to myself? Yes. Was I loyal to the people who I was working for? Yes. I still am friends with my previous team, or even the extended team, the one before that, and also the one before that. So we're talking about more than 15, 16 years.
Yeah.
So does that make me happy? And does that give me a feeling of I've done something right? Yes, it does.
Absolutely. Great. That's wonderful. Talking about ethical dilemmas, do you face that ever? How do you manage that? Especially in the realm of marketing.
Always. Always.
So how do you manage that? How do you handle it?
See, just what I mentioned wasn't really related, but there is no gray area for me. As a person, there's black or there's white. There are gray areas, but they can be the absolute low-hanging fruits where it's not going to make a very big impact. But ethics, I would say, very important. And here I take a top-down approach in terms of what does the company want? What does my boss want? And then, that ladder. Because if my boss or my seniors, for example, are okay with someone stealing, it's fine, but I'm not going to do that because that's where my ethics come into picture.
Yeah.
But will I support that? No, I won't. I will bring it up. Not because I want to complain about someone, because I'm a part of the team.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end of the day, I'll give you a very small example. This is where even I relate ethics with. In one of my past experiences, we were launching a product and I was not happy with the quality of one of the ingredients of that product because someone wanted to cut cost.
Oops.
And I said, you can, because you're going to score a brownie point, but I am not happy selling that product because we're not being true to what it is supposed to be. For me, that is ethics. And
Yeah,
I actually put my
absolutely.
foot down and said, I'm not launching that product if you don't stick to the SOPs.
Uh,
So not always people like you.
but did you manage to win that one?
100% I
Oh,
won
great.
it.
Good.
Because it's simple, right?
Yeah.
You're spending so much money.
Right.
And this is what I said even to the bosses on the table, saying, what's the point in compromising for a
one,
little bit?
Yeah.
And we were spending so much money behind, putting your marketing campaign around it. It's about that product.
Yeah.
And if that product is not up to the mark, let's just put it on hold. Might as well, So, I mean,
exactly.
That's me.
No.
That's just me.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Absolutely. Wonderful. I'm happy to hear that because I think we need more and more people like that out there in the world.
But then sometimes I face this is like, she just wants to prove a point. Maybe I want to because it's not for me.
But that's your ethical compass that you have to live with, right? You have to live with yourself. And if you're not if you're not comfortable with the decisions you take at work, you still got to live with that, right? So
see, even at that point in time, if someone said no, as a leader, I'm okay to go ahead. It's an informed decision, please.
Yes, then it's beyond you. But you put your thoughts out. That's what's important, I guess. I'm sure in your 15, 20 years of work life, you've faced failures and setbacks. Want to talk about any of that and how you've handled, or just generally how you handle failures and setbacks?
So, I think I take them as learnings, and not just because I'm saying it. So, I don't remember when I actually go back and think like, was there a specific instance or a specific thing that I failed at, or wouldn't say that was like the best thing ever? Nothing really comes to my mind. But throughout the journey, I must have failed in the decisions I've made as overall, decision, I would say. So maybe was doing that pathology course, was that a wrong decision? No, it wasn't, because as simple as today when I get someone, even my mom's reports, and I'm like, I know a little more than you there,
It's taught you something.
Exactly. Everything's taught me everything.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really say that there has been an instance that I would like to talk about or I sit and regret about. But small things are just learnings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think living with regret is one of the silliest things to do, because you can't change what has happened, right? So it's okay.
Absolutely, you
get up and walk on. And that's the way I look at it.
And I agree. So I think I'm blessed. Like, I haven't reached that point that I failed and I had to come back or restart. But, and also, not only me, if something's happened with someone, I would just say that even if you believe in yourself and you know that what I am doing is right, maybe someone else thinks that's not the best thing, but if you know it, go for it. Yeah, if you're comfortable with it, just do it, because that's what you want to, so just do what you want. And at that point, you may feel that's the right decision. Yeah, exactly. Tomorrow, you may look back and say, oh, I could have changed it. Or in retrospect, we can think of a whole lot of things that we're like, oh, maybe we should have changed. But no, at that point, you took that decision at that point in your life. And that was right for you. Yes. And with the knowledge of what you had at that point of time, right? True. So great, wonderful. So now we come to another section of the podcast, which is I'm going to ask you make some statements, which you tell me whether you agree or disagree. We'll keep it short. Sure. Okay. Briefly, you can talk about it if you want. Okay. So let me read out the first one. Customer feedback should play a major role in fine-tuning marketing spends and strategy. Very big yes. Okay. A very big yes. I champion the customer care unit or the side of the business, and I feel they're really, really interlinked. if you don't know what your customers are talking and what they want or what they don't want, you're spending your money for no reason.
Okay.
Spend it right.
Spend it right. That would be the key. Perfect. Okay, the next one. Introducing a loyalty program significantly increases customer retention.
For someone who comes from a loyalty background,
I clearly know what the answer is, but what is your take on it, like that being one of the major factors for increasing customer retention?
It's a little tricky because it depends on the industry. Right? Completely. If I go back to the airlines, I would say yes.
No, let's talk only
If
F&B.
it is today, again, for the brands that I work for, or in a nutshell, I would say yes.
Okay. Let's just go with that then.
Because I do believe. Yes, I do believe. And another thing is, if you use it right, or then just don't do it.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. All right. So the next one. Focusing on a single cuisine type is more effective for branding than offering a diverse menu. I know you have a lot of brands under you, but do you feel that focusing for branding, this is for branding, when you focus on a single cuisine type, it's more effective for branding than having a diverse?
Yes.
It's easier.
Yes, I would say yes. Because when you say, because you're saying branding, right?
Yeah.
Put your hero out there and focus on that. So yes.
Okay, cool. The next one. Do you believe that focusing on creating Instagrammable dishes compromises the quality and taste of the food?
Nope.
Okay.
There are ways to do Instagrammable dishes.
Okay.
You have to be mindful because Instagrammable element comes later. You're in the business of serving food.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on that. You can add the Instagrammable element. What timing? We're speaking about it, and just yesterday I've seen something or something's happening in the background, and this is what I said.
Okay.
Your product taste should not change.
It should not be compromised.
Because you're adding a smoke effect. So
yeah. But for the customer, that's like the Instagram comes first, right? Like as soon as the dish comes onto the table, the first thing I see most people doing is taking a picture to,
of course,
just right.
But they'll do that. But they're eventually going to eat that,
it,
right?
Yes.
They're not going to come back because it was Instagrammable. They will come back because it tasted amazing.
Right. Just curious here now, like as you heading the marketing and of course the chef being in the kitchen, like when you want to put out things that are more photogenic, what is the chef's take on that?
I think I'm blessed. Currently, the chefs that I work with love it.
Yeah.
They just love it. And they're like, okay, I know where you're coming from. I said, chef, you make amazing food. Let's just make it look prettier.
Okay. And they're okay with that.
They're okay with that. But again, my ethic stays, your food taste should not be changed, compromised. If you think me saying, let's just add something to it is going to change the taste,
don't do it.
Don't do it. And stand up for that, I said.
Fantastic.
So I think we work well.
Okay.
If everyone has this understanding, like you respect your position and the other one respects your position, I mean, it's a give and take.
Yeah, fair enough. I digress there. Back to my agree or disagree questions. So the next one is, if a food critic with 1 million followers on social media posts a negative review about your restaurant, would you prefer to respond privately or publicly try to resolve the issue? What would your take be? Would this
I would acknowledge publicly, but resolve it privately.
Okay, interesting. That's nice. It's a better way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
because
enough.
I don't want to, on that Instagram, keep on and on. So what happened? Did you not like the taste? Did you not like? No.
It doesn't make sense.
It just does not make sense.
Yeah.
I would if given a chance, I would love to speak to the person and understand more what
Yeah.
wrong did we do.
Yeah.
Right.
But I loved that part about acknowledging publicly, because I think that's important, because
Yes.
the rest of the world needs to know that you're taking care of it and resolving it as
Agree.
well, right? Fantastic. So we come to the last one. Is it more effective to market a restaurant through community engagement and local events, or through large-scale advertising campaigns?
You got me there. That is, again, it's different for every brand.
Right.
Right. I'll just give you two examples. It's applicable for each brand. Let's take Carluccio's. It's a very community brand. I would do community marketing there and not go large scale.
Okay.
Right. But something like where we're sitting right now, I would go large scale because
it just needs that.
It needs that. It definitely needs that.
Fair
Without
enough.
getting into details,
Fair
yes.
enough. Great. Thank you so much, Ketaki. That was lovely speaking with you. Thank you for your time and allowing us to get to know you better. It's always good for the people to get to know the name behind the brilliant marketeer that you are. So thank you very much for being on the show.
Absolute pleasure, Minnie, because we've spoken about everything in Ketaki's life, I guess. So thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we sign off on Off the Menu with Ketaki Shah. Thank you.